Ready for a deep dive into a career path that's way more interesting than it might sound at first?
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right, today we're tackling metal product quality control inspectors.
Metal product quality control inspectors. Not exactly the first thing that comes to mind when you think dream job.
I know, right? But trust me, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. And luckily for us, we've got RoleCatcher to be our guide, and they've got all the insider info.
RoleCatcher, you say. Okay, you've piqued my interest.
Good. Now, before we jump in, anyone listening ever wonder how the things we use every day are made so well? Cars, airplanes, even toasters. Someone's going to make sure all that stuff is built to last.
Yeah, makes sense. You can't just slap it together and hope for the best, especially with metal, right?
Exactly. And that's where our metal product quality control inspectors come in. They're the unsung heroes, making sure those products are top-notch.
Unsung heroes, huh?
Okay.
I'm listening. So, walk me through a day in the life. But what do these inspectors actually do all day?
Well, it's definitely more than just a once-over and a thumbs up. Think Sherlock Holmes with calipers.
Wait, Sherlock Holmes with calipers. Now I'm really curious.
A good metal product quality control inspector needs a deep understanding of metalworking.
Makes sense. You'd need to know what you were looking at.
Right. They have to understand the processes, know how to read those super technical drawings, and oh boy, can they spot a flaw from a mile away.
So we're talking real attention to detail here, but what does that look like in practice?
Think high-tech equipment, 3D scanners, even X-ray inspection systems to catch those microscopic imperfections that could spell trouble.
Wow, X-ray vision. That's way more high-tech than I pictured. So it's not just factories and production lines anymore.
Definitely not. This field is evolving rapidly. According to RoleCatcher, automation, data analysis, and a constant wave of new technologies are changing the game.
So forget the image of a guy in greasy overalls with a magnifying glass.
Pretty much. Think high-vis vests, tablets, and laptops. These inspectors are on the cutting edge of manufacturing tech. And speaking of cutting edge, let's talk job market, because RoleCatcher gave us some really interesting numbers about this career path.
Okay, hit me with the stats. Is this a career with a future?
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the job outlook for quality control inspectors is projected to grow at a rate that's outpacing many other occupations. So yeah, I'd say it's got a bright future.
That's really promising to hear,
Yeah.
especially with so much uncertainty in the job market these days.
Absolutely. But like any job, it's not all sunshine and roses. RoleCatcher keeps it real about the challenges, too.
All right, let's have it. What's the catch?
Well, it can be physically demanding at times. Long hours on your feet, environments that aren't always climate controlled, you get the picture.
Right, so not afraid of a little hard work. Got it.
Exactly. Plus, there's the potential exposure to hazards, loud machinery, dust, even chemicals in some cases. So safety is absolutely paramount.
Of course, safety first. But beyond the paycheck and the hopefully safe working conditions, what motivates these inspectors?
Well, I think it's that sense of pride knowing that your work directly impacts the safety and quality of products people rely on every single day.
Ah, so there's a real sense of purpose there.
For sure. They're making sure that plane lands safely, that car runs smoothly, no exploding toasters.
Okay, no exploding toasters. I can get behind that.
Now, RoleCatcher gave us some great insight into the typical career progression for this line of work. And it turns out there's a pretty clear ladder to climb if you're ambitious.
Oh, a career ladder, you say. I'm always interested in upward mobility. Tell me more.
It usually starts with entry-level positions, like assisting more experienced inspectors. Think of it as a quality control apprenticeship.
So you start by learning the ropes from the pros.
Exactly. You're mastering the fundamentals and building a solid foundation for your career. You're getting your hands dirty, learning the ins and outs of the job, and as you gain experience, you can climb that ladder. RoleCatcher highlights the path from junior inspector.
Junior inspector. What's next?
Well, at that level, you're taking on more responsibility, conducting your own inspections, maybe even leading a small team. And then from there, you could move up to senior inspector.
Okay, so you're not just starting out anymore. You're the one with the experience.
Exactly. As a senior inspector, you're not just finding problems, you're developing and implementing solutions.
So it's like you've got the experience and now you're using it to make things better.
You got it. You're flexing those problem-solving muscles. You might even be training the next batch of inspectors coming up, passing on all that hard-earned wisdom. But, RoleCatcher also made it clear that climbing the ladder isn't the only way to find success in this field. They're big believers in specialization.
Specialization, huh? So like finding your niche.
Exactly. You've got the general knowledge, but now you get to really zoom in on what gets you going. What are you passionate about?
Okay, so instead of being a jack of all trades, you become the go-to expert in the lay. What? Give me some examples.
Well, you could specialize in a specific type of metal, maybe a particular manufacturing process, even a specific industry. RoleCatcher mentioned things like aerospace materials, or you could become a certified welding inspector.
Certified welding inspector. That sounds pretty specialized.
It is, and that kind of specialization can really boost your earning potential because you're not just filling a position, you're offering in-demand expertise. Companies need specialists, right?
Right. The deeper your knowledge, the more valuable you are.
Exactly. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about landing the job in the first place. Because, RoleCatcher wouldn't be RoleCatcher if they didn't have some killer interview tips.
All right, lay it on me. What do they say?
Yeah.
What's the secret sauce?
Well, one thing they emphasized was being able to really articulate your passion for quality control. It's one thing to say you're detail-oriented, but it's another to show them you genuinely care about the integrity of the products.
Show them you're not just there to punch a clock.
Exactly. And you know those classic interview questions like, tell me about a time you identified a critical quality issue. How did you handle it?
Oh, yeah. Classic.
Well, that's your time to shine. Show off your problem-solving skills, that ability to think on your feet. Be the hero of your own quality control story.
The inspector spotted a microscopic crack and saved the day.
That's the idea. Another great tip, be ready to talk tech. Like we were saying earlier, the world of quality control is all about automation and data these days.
So brush up on those spreadsheet skills.
Exactly. Maybe even learn a little coding, just the basic, showing that you're adaptable, that you're excited to learn new technologies. That goes a long way. But remember, it's not all about the hard skills. RoleCatcher stressed the importance of soft skills, too.
Because even the most tech-savvy inspector has to work with other people, right?
100%. You're the bridge between the engineers who design the products and the folks actually building them on the factory floor. So being able to explain those quality concerns, work together to find solutions, that's crucial.
So it's about communication, collaboration, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Strong communication skills, a collaborative spirit, a real passion for quality. Those are the keys to rocking that metal product quality control inspector interview.
Music to my ears. Now, once you've aced that interview, landed the job, you've got some experience under your belt, that's when things get really interesting. Remember those specialization opportunities we were talking about?
Oh, yeah. RoleCatcher gave some amazing insights into what those specialized career paths can actually look like.
And the opportunities are seriously diverse. You can become a specialist in, say, non-destructive testing.
Non-destructive testing. That sounds intense. What is that exactly?
It's basically using high-tech methods to find flaws in materials without actually damaging them. Think ultrasonic testing or magnetic particle inspection. Really crucial in industries like aerospace and automotive, where safety is critical.
So you're like a quality control detective using these futuristic tools to uncover hidden flaws.
Exactly. Or if you're more of a data whiz, you could specialize in quality assurance systems and statistical process control.
So instead of just checking individual products, you're looking at the big picture, right? Analyzing data, improving the entire process.
Exactly. Using those analytical skills to prevent defects before they even happen, that can save companies a ton of time, money, maybe even their reputation.
Talk about high stakes. But RoleCatcher also mentioned failure analysis, which, I don't know, sounds a little ominous.
Well, it can be intense, for sure,
Yeah.
but incredibly important. Failure analysts are the ones who figure out why something went wrong. Why did a product fail? How do you prevent it from happening again?
They're like the forensic investigators of the quality control world.
Exactly. Using their technical know-how and their detective skills to solve the mystery.
That sounds like a career for someone who's not afraid to ask the tough questions.
For sure. And that's just one example of all the amazing paths you can find in the world of metal product quality control. It's about more than just the products themselves, really. You're impacting people's lives.
It's like you said before, making sure the bridge doesn't crumble, the plane lands safely.
Exactly. Knowing that your work has a real impact, that's got to be rewarding.
Hugely rewarding. But going through RoleCatcher's research, one thing that really stood out to me was this idea that a great metal product quality control inspector isn't just detail-oriented, they're curious too.
Curious. So not just seeing the problem, but wanting to understand it.
Yeah, like why did this crack? What happened during manufacturing? Always asking questions, digging deeper.
I can see that. You're not just checking boxes. You're trying to figure out how to make things better.
Exactly. It's that drive to learn and grow that really pushes the field forward.
And with technology constantly changing, new materials, new challenges, there's always something new to learn.
Always evolving. That's what makes it exciting. And hey, for anyone listening who's thinking, this sounds like my kind of gig, RoleCatcher's got your back.
They really do have a ton of resources, job descriptions, salary info, even interview questions.
Seriously, they're like the ultimate career sidekick for anyone wanting to get into this field. So to wrap things up, if you've got an eye for detail, you love a good challenge, and you're the kind of person who always wants to know more, well, metal product quality control inspector might just be your calling.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's been great diving into this with you.
It really has. Until next time, everyone, keep those quality standards high.